Hello, everyone. My name is Ike. I am going to be solo casting for today, and the second match of the group stages is going to be Indiana versus Minnesota. The last match we had was Ohio State versus Illinois, and that can be found. The second match can be found over on Penn State's Twitch channel. So we actually already have the draft phase coming in here. Syndra, Darius, and Zach are going to be taken away. However, we cannot see. Currently in draft because this is the pro draft client, who is going to be going where. And the Pantheon Rumble and Hecarim are also going to be banned out from Minnesota. Gallium most likely going to get in the mid lane here for Indiana. However, it has been a support pick in the past and has been a support pick in solo queue and competitive play for a little bit now. And the Orianna and Olaf picked up for Minnesota, as well as Indiana finally picking up Kaisa. And if this is a support Galio, they will be picking up their jungler here for the third pick of this draft phase. You'll see what they pick. Most likely not going to be a first pick Galio, so it is incredibly possible that this is actually a support Galio in the bot lane, along with Kaisa, a very strong lane indeed. Indiana taking their time. Kha'Zix being picked out here, a very aggressive jungler, as a response to Olaf. And Draven being hovered from Minnesota, however, it is very possible that that is not. And Misfortune being hovered here, most likely going to be the pick. A very, very strong pick into Kaisa. Able to bully her out with the current Comet build that is going around in solo queue. We'll see. Minnesota still hovering the pick. Not sure if they want to quite lock it in yet, taking their time. And the Aphelios actually is going to be coming out. Not actually sure if the Galio, I think this is a safe play for Minnesota. Not sure if the Galio is actually mid or support yet. It can be flexed and most likely will be flexed to suit the needs of Indiana. As we go into the second banning phase here. Minnesota getting the first ban, hoping to maybe get a counter pick in the top lane as they ban out top lanes here. Indiana, we will see what they have as a response. And it actually is looking like I will not be solo casting here, as I have a fellow caster here from Illinois. His name is Indigo. Indigo, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Indigo.
And he's joining me just a little bit through the ban phase here. So we are currently just in the second phase of banning, seeing what Indiana bans here. The Leona, so they are not looking to play against that hyper-aggressive bot lane that Leona has been providing, as I've been seeing in a lot of play recently. She just seems a very well-rounded and very strong champion, gives a lot of very good engage, and it looks like Indiana really doesn't want to play against that, especially with the current comp they have now of Orianna and Olaf. Minnesota, again, taking their time here. Most likely going to be a top ban, I would assume. Actually, the Akali coming out, a very strong assassin. Can be played top and mid, however, is a very strong mid pick. And Nautilus coming out. Slow champion Leona gives very, very hard to engage. And just a very good support in general right now. Minnesota taking their time. They tend to. It's looking like they tend to take time with their picks. I like to think things through, figure out what they want to pick before they pick it. Gragas will be coming out here. That is actually a top lane Gragas. Interesting blind pick here from Minnesota. Not exactly sure where else it would go except top. Olaf could maybe be flexed to jungle or top with Gragas. I'm not exactly sure. But not looking like a support pick he's coming out, unless that's a support Gragas or a mispick on the side of Minnesota. Scion as a response. Taking their time, making sure that the Galio actually does stay mid and is not a support pick here. Minnesota looking to take away any form of flex pick that this guy is going to be providing. And Indiana, if they hover Pyke here, both can go in both lanes. Pyke can go support and mid, and Galio can also go support and mid. Trying to confuse Minnesota, trying to 5-head this this comp that they have drafted. We will see how Minnesota responds here. Indigo, any thoughts into this? Because I'm a little confused.
I was thinking that it might be the Olaf jungle. uh, Olaf jungle and Gragas top, but it could also be. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say Oriana support, but
So
Lulu
Lulu,
support works
yeah,
much
Lulu
better.
definitely support.
Much
Yeah,
better.
much better of a pick. I'm still not sure if that's a Galio or Pike. I think Galio works better with Kaisa, right? I mean,
Yeah, the engage, really
yeah,
nice.
yeah,
But also Pike get engaged is really good with his hook. His
exactly.
stuns help apply those stacks early.
Yeah, Indiana coming out with a very, honestly, very smart comp, trying to confuse Minnesota and give them the favorable matchups in the mid lane, and support roles. We will see though, however, which does actually go where as we transition. Waiting for the client draft to pop up as once more we are doing a pro draft as most teams have actually been taking pro draft lately. We'll see. There's no reason to trade, so we'll see where this goes. I'm actually curious to see.
Your back. I do not tolerate cowardice.
All right, I'm going.
Role ban coming out here. Looks like they're just going to be banning a bunch of random champions.
Yeah,
As they have again no need to just randomly ban what was in pro draft, as they already know the comps that are all figured out.
gotta see if they were spelling something, but it appears
Yeah,
not be the
nope,
case.
not
Not
the
of
case.
them.
And Gragas top actually. Olaf, I figured would be the jungle, but you never know. Could be something spicy they wanted to pull out. Olaf top. Guys, and it is Galio mid. So Galio, again, mostly predominantly mid champ lately. However, again, he has been flexed support. Is going to be taken mid. So Pike and Kaisa bot lane versus what was it? I can't remember. My short attention span.
Lulu and
Lou
Aphelios.
Aphelios, gotcha. Very strong matchup actually. Aphelios has a very good team behind him.
True. And it's
Tons
got
of
that
shielding.
Lulu to make sure he stays alive.
Very good. With the Runins buffs that actually came out, the gold cost being significantly lowered and just all around being a better item now, I would say. I think the gold cost was what straight away ADCs from making it a second pick, but Aphelios and Jinx are both champions that thrived on that second pick Runins because of how much they like that AoE that it provides. Making Aphelios a pretty viable pick now, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also like this Oriana Olaf combo. You can just put the ball on Olaf and
All
he
him, and
runs
he
in.
just ults and he runs in. Exactly. Very strong 2v2 matchup for Minnesota.
Yeah.
So as we wait here, again, it is going to be a 45-second wait time for the queue to run down, and then a 3-minute wait time. Because we don't have tournament spectator. Be very nice, but it's just how the league client is. As we wait here, both teams looking like they have a very strong comp. The Gragas top, not something you see all the time. However, it is a very viable pick and can be used very well.
Yeah.
We will see how Minnesota uses it.
I can't speak for Chimpate, but I've seen some pretty good Gragases in my
Yes,
games.
Gragas can be a monster. Looking like he might need to opt for tank Gragas, however. Full AP might not be the go here, as they don't have a very strong front line. It's more of a go, go, go comp from Minnesota. Nothing really to protect Aphelios except Ori Ball and Lulu. Whereas Indiana actually has a very, very strong front line. Galio and Sion, very two beefy people to try and just burst through. We will see how Indiana plays with that. Kaisa and Pike both being very, very strong all-ins and very good pick if the top side of the map somehow manages to get something. They have the ability to just kind of be there in an instant. Pike with his W gets the movement speed. Pike with his E gets that dash. Kaisa with the ult. We will see exactly how this bot lane does play out. I think it's more favored toward Kaisa and Pike, but
Yeah.
we shall see. See if they get early prio. See if they get those drags able to affect the map. I
Good
think
job.
might come down to jungle actually here.
Yeah. Like the in later team fights, I think the Lulu
Mhm.
do really good shutting down the Kazakhs, the polymorph and
So
shield.
yeah, Lulu is just such a great pick against assassins. It's one of the as an assassin player myself, it becomes very hard to play against Lulus and like God, I hate those types of supports. Just the CC spam shut you down.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see how See how Kha'Zix maneuvers around it. See if he can find any opportunities to get a pick onto Oriana or Aphelios here. Or even Lulu, for that matter, if she's caught out alone. Hopefully here, though, Minnesota can capitalize on that very strong comp that they drafted around Aphelios. Might be able to pull it off. However, again, Indiana going for a more, I wouldn't say front to back, but a more standard team comp. More traditional, I would say. In the says you have the top beefy tank top, and then the very very good ADC to sit behind it. So hopefully they can manage to pull off the comp they are trying to pull off. Whereas Minnesota, again, going for something a little more unorthodox. Not exactly sure how the Gragas fits in here. I haven't seen many Gragases in competitive play, but I don't know. It looks interesting. It looks like it can be very
Yeah.
annoying and very good.
I was really surprised. You usually see Gragas in competitive and like jungle or support.
Yeah,
Top.
top
Don't
is.
know how that's gonna work.
No, I do not.
Be
I've
interesting to see.
let's see. Was it Baus? I've only seen him play Gragas. Really, he's only the league highlight person I ever see playing Gragas. Maybe Panunu, but that's more of a mid full AP one shot Gragas. So hopefully Minnesota can find success with the Gragas here. I think it's a very exciting pick. It makes for a very exciting game and commentating. However, again, it can fall behind. It's not your traditional tank. It's not your Scion. It's not what is it? It's not your Mordekaiser. It's just not something you see in the top lane, all that often.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see how Minnesota pulls through here. I don't know because I actually don't see it in many solo queue games that often either. I don't really know the strengths of it. I know what the champ does, whatever. He has a barrel. He kind of walks around and goes whoa, but it'll be interesting. So League Client's actually been really buggy today. I don't know what's been going on. Both Penn State stream and Ohio State stream crashed at
Oh,
the end of the game. That was quite something.
yeah, I saw that a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a new patch. I would assume it's new patch is what's causing it, but very very hopeful right now that no bugs do happen. However, small indie company. Oh, we have a very
What?
large minimap in front of us.
Damn.
If
They're
we
starting out.
yeah, if we can't see, it looks like both teams are going to be
Oh.
5-pointing. Hopefully,
Flashing that mastery for
Yep.
Galio.
Gragalus waddling up to the top side. And
5
yep,
point
both
set.
teams with the very standard 5-point across the map.
No
As to be
surprises
expected.
here.
Nope. Very, very standard. Not going for anything too exciting with the Pike. They do have possibility for a very strong early. Maybe they get a very lucky Scion Q or a Pike cook-off, but not look like they want to take any risk here. They're just going to be sitting here. Olaf coming back with the sweeper. Kha'Zix has not yet backed, and it looks like he is using his trinket and going to be recalling to get the sweeper. Or actually, it looks like he's staying. Looking to be
Seems
starting
like he's
top
gonna
side.
start. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like both junglers are pathing down here. Hoping to maybe get something mid or bot side at around 3 minutes. We'll see how it pans out.
Like UMN drafted a much more CC heavy comp.
Yeah, very.
See a lot of CC on IU.
Okay, Kha'Zix looking to start top. So one, his bot can get that level 2 push. We'll see how that bot actually does end up playing out. It's looking like Minnesota is going to be getting this push. Maybe a little slower than IU. It's just the first minion wave.
Oh,
Pike
a
hook
hook.
is going to be landing, slight delay. Aphelios is going to be walking back, is ignited, not blowing any summoner spells here yet, and Pike is going to be just blowing his ignite, getting the damage off. Aphelios may be trying to heal up. He does have his oh, getting hooked again.
Oh, another
It looks
hook.
like he is going to be having to flash away, using the heal here. Not flashing away quite yet, but is going to be exhausting the heal. Lulu taking a very big trade back onto the Kaisa, getting some gold off, plus 21, plus 21. Another poke.
Another
That is
hook.
3 for 3, and Lulu is going to be
Consistent
blowing
hooks,
flash
yeah.
here. Wow, that is absolutely insane. Pike carrying the bot lane here, 3 for 3 with his hooks, absolutely demolishing the side of University of Minnesota.
Very low. Now they're gonna be a lot more careful this walking up.
Sion
Top
getting
lane
a,
trade.
yeah, Sion getting a push in here. Gragas having to body slam away, not really wanting to take the trade into Sion. Sion, actually a very big lane bully. We'll see how the Ori vs Galio lane is going. Very even, as to be expected. Not a very aggressive lane from either of them. Both junglers are down here on the bot side. However, it is looking like Olaf might have the opportunity to gank, but IU does have both flashes up and is going to be backing up, saying, hey, my jungler is down here. Maybe their jungler is down here too, and playing a little safe, not wanting to risk anything.
Lion's just going though.
Yeah, Sion is just going. That is 19 CS. I believe he's hit everything so far. Amazing CS going for Sion. Olaf is farming quite efficiently. It's looking like with the priority that IU has, they're going to be getting that Scuttle Crab. And
Not going
actually
to that
double
gank.
scuttling Sion because he has priority as well, double scuttling here. Very detrimental to Olaf and the levels that he wants. However, it is still about even in
Health bars and bot are looking more even.
big trade going on to Pike, taking a lot of free damage there for absolutely nothing. Is going to be burning the health pots. He still has one more, so he can take a little bit more punishment, but trying their best to
Not as tanky as
punish.
Leon.
Yes, trying their absolute best to punish the Pike for walking up. Aphelios still is a little bit low, but is going to be healing up with the Lawrence Blade he has. Pike looking to maybe be a little more aggressive. Is missing the hook. Guardian proc going to stop the Kaisa W.
Having errors with my computer. Oh,
All
it's
good.
back.
Looking like Minnesota is wanting to push this out. Midwave is stacking up here for Orianna, maybe trying to thin it out as well. It's looking like both teams are wanting to play pretty slow here. Bot lane is probably the most interesting so far. We are getting a very big... Yep, the heal is coming off from Kaisa, is going to be backing up. That is going to be the Gravitum Q coming off, stunning both the bot laners here for IU. And it's looking like Minnesota just wants to back off. Gragas getting a push, about even in farm, but is going to be losing here. Sion trying to freeze the wave. Gragas not so happy about that, trying to walk up, not exactly sure what to do.
Q.
Pike going up here, missing a Q. Lulu taking response damage off. Pike is going
a
to
lot
be
of
taking a lot
damage.
of damage, tons of damage coming off here. Gragas missing the body slam, a huge trade coming out for Sion. Does he look to keep going? No, the Q coming out. Gragas getting the phase rush, going to be taking a fairly even trade here. Let's see if Sion keeps going. And it's looking like both top laners here. Gragas hitting the E, getting the slow, body slam coming out, the barrel coming out as well. Sion and Gragas both about even health here. Sion does have flash, maybe he will go for the flash explosion on his W. He actually does go for that, and both top laners trade their flash here, and it's looking like Gragas is going to be recalling back to base after what was a very good trade, to be honest. It looks like the wave is going to be pushing in him.
And Sion's got a pretty big CS lead.
Yeah, very big CS lead.
Only gonna, I'm gonna say it's gonna get bigger, but
Yeah.
his trades are only gonna get worse for Gragas. He has to
Exactly.
get ahead.
I'm not exactly sure what to expect here from the jungle matchup. It looks like both people are pretty even here.
Power farming it up.
Yeah.
Galio's 6 now, so we can watch for side lane pressure.
Yeah, that's going to be very exciting to watch. Maybe IU might look for something little something bot lane. The Galio ultimate. Any thoughts as to when the first dragon's gonna come out? Because it has been untouched now for about 6 minutes.
I don't know.
Exactly sure
They're
if it's gonna
both
get pressure.
pathing up right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Not looking like a very ideal time. This top lane matchup is so fun to watch.
True. Gragas fun. Just a man and his alcohol.
Alcohol man walking up is going to be getting smacked by the Sion. Oh, flash coming here for Pike.
negate.
Amazing prediction.
Galio's in. He didn't.
Galio, the double taunt coming out. The
Oh,
first
first
for
blood.
Galio, amazing.
Galio.
Maybe this is the time they look for Dragon, or are they just going to take this and walk away? Galio's
And he
backing.
did not ult in, so that is still up for
No,
Dragon
that is
fight.
amazing,
They
yeah.
go for it.
It's crazy that he was able to get that off without ulting. IU going to be getting a tower plating, maybe walking away, hitting the hook onto Lulu. A little bit of trade damage.
Meantime, though, Orianna's gonna push up this mid,
Yeah,
But
Galio TP
he
coming out,
he's
doesn't want
in.
to lose. Yeah, doesn't want to lose too much.
mostly even. Kill. He got a kill for a trouble, so.
Yes.
not too big of a yeah.
Ori
Even
backing.
trade.
Yeah, Olaf looking to path down. Will they take dragon now? Yeah, it's 8 minutes. It's open. It's right there.
They know bot lane just backed, and I don't know if they know Kha'Zix is top, but now is probably a good time to take dragon. I would say.
Mm. I can tell they want it. Someone wants it.
Yeah.
Another Gragas getting the slap off. Phase rush running away.
Galio's pathing down again.
Oh, fight breaking out, and Justice Punch is going to be just get away from the Olaf. Doesn't want to take anything too crazy. Oh, both teams here. Looking like they might want to take drag now. Minnesota is the first to start. TP coming out from Scion. Gragas does not actually have TP, so he will not be able to do anything. And it's looking like Indiana just takes this for free from Scion TP. Yep. I'm not sure if they're going to try anything as a response here. It's looking like Minnesota's just going to walk away and say, okay, you teleported, that's fine. We'll take that TP for what it is and just back off.
Rags don't have teleport either, so it's not that bad of a trade.
No, not at all. Rift Herald is up right now. You might try for that as a response. Or getting some good damage off. That was, you know, about 8.5 minutes. Any ideas on the Rift Herald? It's looking like both junglers are not exactly sure what to do here, as both teams are not giving many openings.
I don't know. I think the Olaf seems to be being a little cautious into the Kha'Zix. He doesn't have a lot of prio over any of these lanes.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
and he lost both scuttles, so he's a little-
Yeah, that's gotta hurt your jungler's pride. Oh,
Oh,
Shockwave is coming out.
Shockwave.
Justice Punch is coming out. The Olaf ult is going to be coming out. Cannot be disabled, and Galio is going to be going down, and Olaf picks up the kill.
They're gonna
Maybe
get
a
Rift
here
Herald
now.
off this.
Yep, definitely. I think the Rift here is the play. We'll see how Kha'Zix responds, walking around. Some small bot trades here and there. Nothing too interesting. Actually, he's going to be backing, not able to quite catch the Olaf. I don't even think he knew he was in the bush. Actually,
No, he
it's
didn't.
looking like no, he has no idea. He's clueless.
Some pings coming out on Rift Herald.
Not exactly sure whether or not to do it. Kha'Zix just being as careful as his Olaf counterpart.
He is up a considerable amount of CS, but down 1 kill, so.
Yep. Both teams are looking to play a little slower here. Not exactly sure what openings they're being given.
Very even gold on the board. It's like an even matchup over. Might be decided by team fights.
Oh, might pick out the Olaf here. Olaf is going to be caught out. Red Smite is
Doesn't
coming
have
out,
ult.
get the damage. Yep, and he's just dead. Olaf getting caught out.
Oh, Lulu also getting. Oh, was getting caught up. Not Lulu. My bad.
They're able to pick up a chill for their troubles, but doesn't end well as you take 2 for 1 on the side of IU. Pike probably pretty happy to say, you know what, I'll die for that. That's good. Not sure if he got the ult off, but that's okay. Still 2 kills.
I think he did, but it got canceled by Lulu ult.
Ah,
so ult for
gotcha.
ult. Not canceled,
Alcohol
but
Man.
no
Alcohol Man taking his time top. Ori has a very large CS lead against this Galio.
Yeah. Just stacking it on. Doing what Ori does best.
Oh, Olaf gank part 2. Oh, both junglers are meeting up here top side. Gragas is going to be speeding away. Scion, Unstoppable Force. Sorry, that's Malphite. Scion with his ult charge going to be following him.
That's enough.
Looking like, yeah. Looking like nothing comes out from it. That's okay. Oh, everyone's pathing up here. This is going to be another fight. Both teams playing a little cautious, waiting to see who's going to go in or getting damage off.
Numbers still favor IU on this one. So, yeah.
Scuttle Crab is now the topic of conversation. Olaf taking a bunch of damage, having to go away. Pike getting really low. The map is very, very split here. Hard to keep track of what is going on. Kha'Zix able to get the ult off and then Q Smite. However, Body Slam into a bunch of damage in CC chain. He's just down. Galio just is punching away. Gragas might have enough for another Body Slam.
Well, he gets
Getting
hooked into the
hooked in,
team.
and it's looking like he's actually going to
Kha'Zix
die.
is dead.
Amazing Q
One
coming out
for
from
one.
Scion. 1 for 1. Yep. from the side of this is actually looking pretty good here. They might go for a Rift. Everyone's backing.
Their jungler is dead. And I don't know if they can. Maybe they can. Oh, there he's not. Oh, ugh.
No, they're just taking the jungle camps. Olaf feeling a little bit happy that he's finally getting some of that farm back. Or it's actually going off to Orianna, who's giving him the thumbs up, knowing that he's having a little bit of trouble getting farm, but that's okay.
They do not go for it.
Oh,
So it's still up, still there. Dragon spawning soon.
14 minutes coming very, very fast. No plates are going to be taken with that Rift, it's looking like. Kaisa, W shot in dark, hoping to maybe hit straight Olaf.
Oh, they're in hard. They are being Olaf.
Olaf
for
getting fly soloed. Oh no,
Oh.
Olaf if he goes down. Oh,
Olaf's
maybe able to
hooked.
pick up a kill.
Olaf
Oh,
is dead.
Kha'Zix getting away with a little bit of health. This is kind of crazy.
Really get away with it.
Gragas
One
able to just smack the Pyke
one
up
for
a
one.
bit. Kaisel coming
Yeah.
out.
Good
Gragas
flash.
flash away. Oh, just close. Kaisel flashing. Going to be getting caught up by the Philios. Graviton Q. Going to be getting a kill pickup here. Shockwave coming out into the Gallium. Might actually end up getting a kill here.
Looks like it's going over to you men.
Yep. Yep. Oh, he is back. Slight disconnect from ADC on the side of IU. Over no pause at all. And IU taking a very good fight. Or no, Minnesota, sorry.
Yeah.
Got the colors mixed up. IU's red.
It was a good trade with taking the Pyke. He's
Yes.
a lot of engage
Mhm.
that they just took away. Yeah. They caught out the Kaisa. That was the fight. Over.
Yeah. Bot lane, yeah, I think the bot lane getting caught out is kind of what sold IU. I think if Pyke and Kaisa hadn't been where they were in the fight, they positioned a little better, would have maybe gone differently, but
Yeah.
that is all done and over with. IU looking to maybe make a play here. Heal coming out for Phelios to get that movement speed. He does have Chakram. This might be very good for Minnesota.
Whoa.
Melting Pyke. And Kha'Zix just not sure what to do, just gonna leap away.
Consistent Q dodges after the
Yes.
early just round of just Pyke slam.
Mhm.
TP coming in.
Start off strong.
Galio
Galio. Lulu is going to be going to ult.
misses
Oh.
Justice Punch and taunt.
Oh,
He's gonna
not
have
able to
back
really
up.
get anything. Yeah, that TP seems like a waste for a small price to pay of a Lulu flash and ult. Lulu, not really the main focus of Minnesota, so I'm sure she will gladly take that teleport for her flash and ult.
The level up on the Pyke.
Completed Mythics, Shockwave coming out here again. Galio going to be forced to flash away, and it's looking like mid tower is actually just going to be going down.
First tower for UMN.
Olaf actually did, off of our screens, take Rift Herald while we had some action going on bot lane. Knowing that Kha'Zix was bot side trying to do something. And it's looking slightly dire for IU. Their Sion, however, is looking very promising and very, very tanky champ. And actually, Minnesota doesn't have a very strong front line at all.
Yeah.
Gragas did opt for AP. So they're just going straight for it. They're going. It's all or nothing for them pretty much. If they don't get that damage off, they're kind of just done.
Yeah, I gotta rely on Olaf for the engage now. Lane gang coming.
Olaf sitting in the bush, hoping to maybe get the rift off here. Tower getting real low.
The miss hook.
Graviton Q coming out for Phelios. Pyke looking to get the Q. Oh, almost hits Olaf, blows his cover almost. Kha'Zix is bot side here, level up on the Olaf.
Roy's got massive CS. So talk about this. She's gonna hurt like.
Yeah.
She's gonna hurt like brick.
Mythics all done across the board. Another Graviton Q. Olaf hook coming out. Almost able to get the Pyke. Not quite get away with the stray health.
Oh, they found the Kha'Zix in the bush.
Kha'Zix looking to annihilate the Orianna. Is going to be instantly killed. Good pick from the Kha'Zix here.
Good shot.
Olaf. Looking like he's actually just going to be getting caught here. Might not actually be able to get the Pike. He still has flash, however, it's not going to be enough. The ult comes out, 9999 coming out for the Pike, pure damage. Fight breaking out here top lane. The bot tower does go down. There's a flash from Aphelios, however, the Lulu ult is not enough to save him.
Stacking those Pike ults.
Triple kill coming out for Pike. That is an insane amount of gold over to the Pike. He might actually become a menace once he gets this this Duskblade. Pike becomes a very, very hard champion to track if he gets a kill in a fight. Alcohol Man taking a brawl here. Running away. Body slam. Gragas being the silly champion he is. Oh, Exploding Cast coming out here, looking to maybe get a kill. Scion actually looks like he is going to be going down here. And wow, a solo kill coming out for Chimp Ape. Scion maybe looking to try and take a return kill here, but no, the body slam says you are not going to be doing this today, and he retreats under tower. Very impressive solo kill coming out for Chimp Ape. Pykehook is going to be landing. Orianna is caught out here in the mid lane. Absolutely didn't seem around her. And actually, wow! Pulls out a kill against the Pyke. That is 1-for-1. Very amazing kill trade for Ori here. That is 600 gold in her pocket. And now has the completed Zonias.
Saying she was looking strong earlier, but if she keeps getting caught up by Pyke out of team fights, she's not going to have very much presence.
No, not at all. That is 2 deaths in the span of about 3 minutes from her dying to both of the assassins. Maybe might look to position a little better. Gallia's sitting in a bush. Going to actually be getting caught here. Olaf does have the ult and is going to not flash away in time or ult in time to really make a difference there. Getting caught out just before the dragon fight. Looking like IU is going to pick up the second dragon of the game here in just under 20 minutes. And both teams are having
going
some...
for engage onto the Lulu.
Another Pike hook coming out. This guy does not miss his hooks. Oh?
Aphelios posturing for the blue. Do not think he's gonna... I don't think he has enough pressure to really... Might get caught out here, so...
Miracle Q again. He hits another Q. The heal, not able to quite get it. The flash coming out here. Going to be picking up the kill again. This Pike is just making tons of plays around the map.
Another Pike done.
Robotic Ballerina versus Undead. Is that Lumberjack? Oh! The Scion ult is coming out here. Orianna not exactly sure what to do. Going to be getting hit by absolutely everything. Scion just melting her. This is a tank, by the way. Phase rush. Getting product, or he has to just leave and lick her wounds.
Yeah.
Not a single bit of MR from Scion either, and he just does that.
Really good that she got out there for
good. I think Ori's been a little too ambitious this game with her plays. Another Pike hook. This guy just does not miss Pike hooks. What a madman.
Zone... Gragas, stop watching at full health.
most likely a misclick.
Oh, that's stopwatch down.
Oh.
Another Pike attempt on Lulu.
Pike going to be running. If we look, Kha'Zix actually has a very massive lead onto this Olaf. 13 levels to 10. Might hit level 11 here off the Raptors. Unlikely. Well, I'm hoping to maybe get some farm as he slowly just loses everything in his entire jungle.
Top lane was really even. Because who's going to make a difference later on in the team fights?
Oh no. Aphelios? He's got his 2 core items. He's looking pretty good. I guess it does not exactly sure if it will make a difference here, though. Kha'Zix going to be absolutely just chunking out. Amazing exploding cast, putting both of them under tower, but it's just not enough. Kha'Zix absolutely one-shotting. Pike maybe getting caught out here, and he actually dies, not knowing that unstoppable means you cannot hook the Olaf. Caught out here anyway.
Mid lanes are both in the bot lane right now.
Side laning, as mid laners do when they have teleport up. Kha'Zix has a growing lead on this Olaf. Actually, top is looking kind of dire too. Scion finally has that Bramble, going to negate a lot of Gragas's passive healing he gets. Both ADCs farming here. Pretty standard stuff so far. Just a lot of random picks that have happened here and there. Very, very awkward positioning, but can't expect people to be perfect.
I think a reason that Gragas and Scion have been going even lane is when Sion's charging up his Q, Gragas was charging up his cask.
Yeah,
right next to
exactly.
him. So
Yeah,
some
Gragas
big
is
damage.
playing very well. He's 1, 2, and 3.
baiting out the Orianna. He's aiming up for pick.
Oh, Ori. Going to be getting caught here. Even the flash coming out, not enough. The stopwatch is going to be coming out here. The Pyke is here just to ult. He mistimes it. Shockwave coming out. Galio might get picked up here. No, but not enough. Out there, she does force the flash, and
They're
Minnesota
trading
is
for
going
Baron.
to be taking Baron on the other side of the map. Kaisa, looking over here. I don't think poor little ADC Kaisa can do anything. W coming out to check here. Scion,
Sion here.
maybe looking to do something. Kha'Zix and Pyke are coming up, and that is a teleport coming out.
They are
from the
not
side
doing this
of-
quickly enough. I think
Nope, they're not doing it quickly enough, and they're backing up. Pyke looking for the flank. Galio and Scion, both of the two tanks, are walking to the side. Graviton ult is coming down, but it's looking like the Olaf, even with the Board Drinker, most board command of the game, by the way, is not able to actually get enough. Gragas, even with the Lulu ult, very bad call for Minnesota coming out here, and it's looking like IU is able to actually just completely turn the tables and kill the entire ranks of Minnesota. Will they do Baron? It's looking like they do have enough here, taking the Scout Crab first, just for security. Baron should get melted here. Kha'Zix empowered Q and Kaisa with her Gale Force and passive could be able to immediately melt this. Turret coming down from Galio. Trying to get as much stuff as they can here from the deaths that came out onto the side of Minnesota. And it's looking like let's pick up Baron. Drag is up. I think they're just going to be going to Dragon, picking up a Dragon here as well. Not sure if there can be any resistance from the side of UM, as they did not get up enough in time to be able to do anything. Sitting in the bush here, maybe looking to get an Orianna ult, but I don't think she's far enough ahead to one-shot. Oh, doing about half of Kaisa's health, but not quite enough. The Orianna Shockwave is going to be down for this fight, or maybe lack thereof, as both teams trying to play cautiously here. They are split, Pyke and Galio on the top side. The entirety of Minnesota stuck in the middle. They are getting slightly sandwiched, not exactly sure what to do. The Scion ult is up. He could look to engage here. Dragon is slowly burning down. Not exactly sure what to do. Oh, Kha'Zix is going to be going down. Everyone is just dying. Wow, Minnesota playing this fight incredibly well. Looking like IU had a very split team and was not exactly sure what to do, and maybe a communication error here. I think Olaf just failed flash over wall, as that sometimes happens. And Pyke going to be picking up a kill here for the ultimate. Don't know if he shared any gold with anyone. Looking like he actually just got it for himself. And I'd say Minnesota actually came out on top somehow. Found their opening, they took it.
They're still 7k gold down. So,
Yes,
so.
still 7k cooldown, but tons of shutdowns came out here. Client is freezing, and now we are resuming back to bot lane. The Indigo, this is not looking very good for the side of Minnesota, even with what just happened. And a pause has happened. Oh, top DC chat just exploded. Looks like they are ready, and the game will maybe unpause here in a second. Well,
I think Minnesota needs to take out this Pyke before team fights. 'Cause he's had some really good engages. That's why they've been losing out on the fights. So
oh. Well, while we are paused here, you can take a look at the OSU versus Penn State game. It looks to be about a 4k gold lead on the side of OSU.
Right.
Oh, and it's looking like the game is going to be returning here. Kaisa taking a red buff. And not much going on. It's looking like Minnesota might need to just make a cheese play here in order to get back into the game as, oh, another client error. Looking like they're going to need to make a cheese play to get back here into the game. As, it's looking like a 5-on-5 front-to-back team fight is just not going to work out for them. They found a nice fight, given that IU was split, but not exactly
didn't
sure
commit
what
hard
to
enough
with.
to either side.
Yeah. Kha'Zix chunking out Olaf. Caddy's not enough. Ori trying to surprise
Okay,
here.
Dr. Ori.
Oh. Galio one-shotting.
Yep.
Just
And he picks her up.
demolished Ori. Wow. Crazy champ.
I think that's turrets over to
Turret's gone for, yeah, for IU. Gragas smacking away. Scion absolutely saying no, does not care about this turret, does not care about alcohol, man. He has had his fair share in life of alcohol, and he is not ending it today. Oh, Pike.
Same healing.
Hook
Fifth
coming
or
out.
for
Aphelios
Kalias.
might be able to pick up. Kaisa ult coming out here. Shield coming out from Lulu. Lulu is going to be ulting herself. Aphelios going a little too deep with the Gale Force. Kha'Zix. Alcohol Man's not quite here. The Gallia ult is coming out. Olaf. Not exactly sure what to do here. Even though the ult procs, he actually just has to run away. And it's looking like not a whole lot can be done here from the side of Minnesota. You have
I think it's 2 hits.
Aphelios down, yeah. Aphelios down. Gragas not quite up in time.
Big
Oh,
ult.
amazing shockwave coming out here. Orianna going to be absolutely decimating 3 people. Lulu is sitting there
not
shielding, doing her thing. It's looking like Minnesota just kind of won this fight from an amazing Orianna ult. There's just so much shielding. They have, that's just, what can you even do? That's insane.
Sai was too kited out there. Couldn't do much.
Jeez. Minnesota finding a footing in this game somehow, even though they are 11k gold down, somehow managing to find these miracle fights where they can, although it might not be enough as these miracle fights are still at the end of that IU took when they were far ahead.
You might have overstayed a little bit there.
Yeah, just a little bit. Gragas picking up some side farm. Lulu left to defend the supers by herself as Aphelios farms Raptors.
Still a 10k gold lead. So
if Minnesota can keep farming these supers, it might not be that great for IU if they cannot end soon enough. Kha'Zix on 3 items as well. Very strong assassin here. You know, Pike just wandering around doing his thing. And Indigo, I don't know if Minnesota can hang on any longer. They have to farm, they have to do tons of stuff. I don't know if they can do it.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say 5 minutes. It's done.
5 minutes? I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna say what? Yeah, 36
Eight.
minutes. We'll see though.
Baron
I
left in 30.
have,
Another client, please.
small indie company, by the way. Well, Aphelios melting these supers. The whole team. Scion looking to maybe do something here. Not exactly sure. The Galio Predator is coming out.
Can I do anything with it?
Walking through bid, he might be a little far up here. Their whole team is behind them. Orianna soloing the dragon. That might not be enough though, as the whole team might just end the game before anything can be done.
See that very often.
Ori's still soloing dragon. I don't know what she's doing. Her whole team is going to be losing the base here.
Oh, she
That's
got
another
dragon.
inhib down. That
She's
is 3
backing.
inhibs. Dragon just enough. Orianna being there might
Yeah,
not have done
pick up
anything to
the-
save the inhib, but if IU had known that, they probably would have just gone for the end. Or she does have
Yeah.
TP, but a fight can be over in literal seconds, so. Very risky play, but it does actually manage to end up well for UM.
It's like they're trying to bait this Baron here.
Lulu forced to walk up here. Kha'Zix going to be throwing out his Evolve W.
So this is 4 levels up on the Olaf.
Yeah, Kha'Zix is absolutely annihilating Olaf in levels.
Oh, this
Scion
is
looking for a
Scion.
sneaky Q. However, it's looking like IU is just going to absolutely burst down. Shockwave coming out here onto the Scion. Scion might end up dying here. The Galio ult is coming out, but
Scion
Galio
for Baron.
not able to get there in time.
Okay.
Yep. Scion for Baron, pretty much the same person as they both have the exact same amount of health. And it's looking like Aphelios is going to be taking down here. And it's looking like Minnesota cannot do anything about absolutely how fed the ranks of IU are. Gragas throwing down an explosive cast, maybe trying to pick up a kill here onto the Pike, but Exhaust
Take
not
it.
even able enough. death from below, not able to pick up the Ori, and Ori not able to stall and get a kill here. And it's looking like Minnesota will lose to Indiana in a very clean game, I might say. A 15k gold lead ahead, and we were both wrong. It actually took 2 minutes for them to win.
Yeah.
And IU absolutely demolishes Minnesota in a 32-minute game. Well, Indigo, so far today, it's been either or, a stomp or pretty even game. Over the side of Penn State's stream, it's been maybe a little less stompy, but over here at Ohio State, it looks like we only deal with stomps. So
They went even early. Just later on, it's just
yeah,
they started. IU started snowballing, and UM couldn't catch up. So
look at the damage graphs. They actually out damaged. It's looking like they did a very significant amount of damage, but it didn't even matter.
too many
Actually,
attacks on IU's
curious.
side.
I'm very curious to see was it damage taken? If we can see that stat, and see just how much damage IU took. Jeez, that's insane. Wow, they took a significant more amount of damage than UM. Not even sure as to why. They just weren't able to get the kills off. I guess just too much health, too much sustain. Well, everyone, that is Indiana versus Minnesota. Indiana able to take away game onto Minnesota here. Next up, coming up very soon. I do not know the state of Penn State's current casting situation. Oh, it is actually looking like
Double Camille ults.
oh, that's quite interesting. Well, folks, if you want to see how this game pans out, go over to the Penn State stream. That has been Indiana versus Minnesota. My name is Ike from Ohio State.
I'm going to go from University of Illinois.
Yep. And we will see you guys for Game 3 coming up here in a bit.
Yeah, and we're going to take a live listen in right now on that cast from the Penn State League of Legends Twitch channel. Right here on the Buckeye Gaming Collective Twitch channel.
Has all of their wards and stop the double TP for even more flashbacks to game ending. Whew.
Now, luckily, no wards in the base of Penn State, so they might think about it in the back of their heads, but there is no legitimate threat towards that TP backdoor at the moment.
Yeah, that is until this Baron spawns, and well, we've seen games in NA go very wild when there is an open nexus on the field.
Yep, Penn State also only two outer turrets destroyed, two outer turrets destroyed so far.
Oh, Night
a
Harvester got
while away
upgraded.
from the base.
Vesper Tide. It's an alright name. That also got upgraded. And now we're sort of seeing that Ohio State, with on the back of this absolutely gigantic Viking from the jungle, can just sort of do those death bushes and be like, stop. Now death timers are gonna be absolutely huge, so unless you can stall for like 50 years, if someone dies, it's probably just game with Ohio State in the victory. As double Orange 7 over there. Not as good as the first iteration of the kit.
Yep, now the Viking in. Heck, the ultimatum. Olaf is not dying so far, but the base is under fire. Ordnance Alice found the ward. They found the TP. It's the Nexus. There's one TP in response, but it's not going to be enough. Thresh flashing forward, flies the flame. Moach to bring her home. Ohio State going to clean this one up.
Hey, we got to the Nexus explosion.
Now we got to the Nexus explosion this time around before it crashed, but Ohio State making it happen. Cool. Find the win. They will grab their win in the group stage. I'm not sure how many wins they had already, but claiming victory here in the second game of the group stage for our channel here at Penn State League.
Yeah, that was just some very good vision play from Ohio, relying on the fact that Penn State had no vision, and that Death Rush catch onto Vale just sort of cost the game because you have an open nexus. There's not really a lot you can do when there's double TPs there.
Yep. Ends up being Penn State. Their first game and their first loss of the group stage. Ohio State, I'm not sure if they I'm not sure what the results of the game was, so I don't know where they're at currently in the standings here in this mix-up. Kind of just been going right through.
Yeah.
But we are going to get ready here for match 3. Penn State staying here on our channel to face UIUC for game 3 in just a few moments.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats to Ohio State for the
Yeah,
victory. And
really well played.
Yeah, really well played.
I'm gonna look at damage charts and yeah, Olaf. He's a Viking.
Yep, that's a really cool thing. Really Olaf's a really cool champion with a Gore Drinker.
Look, they nerfed Gore Drinker. It's still good, but you know, it's an Olaf.
Yep. But with that, thank you guys so much. We're going to be back on stream here in just a few moments. I'm going to take the stream down so I can fix
We'll have a nice
graphics
break.
and stuff, and then we will be back in just a moment. Thank you guys.
And they say I have a grim sense of humor.
Hello and welcome to the student-run Big Ten Invitational. With we now have our next match being the third match of Group B. This being Michigan State University versus Indiana University, and we're already starting to get into bans here. So from the side of Michigan State University, we do see more than likely some more targeted bans that. It actually might be targeted bans, or it might be champions that start with A, with Annie, Amumu, and Nivea. So it may just be, more of the cocky perspective from the side of Michigan State. And over on the side of Indiana, they're taking away some pretty big power picks and taking it a bit more seriously, taking away that Akali, that Nautilus, and as well as the Pantheon that has been a powerhouse since its recent changes. But these picks are going by fast. I assume they did progress. So on the side of Michigan State, for the first rotation of picks, we do have Darius up in the top lane for Sunlight. Really big meme on Nidalee jungle. Nidalee is pretty exciting, being I would definitely say one of those more skillful junglers, that you can show some prowess on, and also picking up the Lucian. Maybe it's looking like they are in pick order, may have done the draft ahead of time, so I'm assuming this is Chovy Faker Kadeem on the Lucian mid versus Sweaty Interns Lysandra. And then up on the top side for Indiana, we do have Speedy on Malphite as well as Teal on Mundo. So a very big tanky front line coming out from the side of Indiana University. And it does look like that Michigan State is going to be running that double 80 carry comp with the Lucian and the Misfortune. So Misfortune and Leona down in the bot lane for Michigan State University versus Jin and Galio. So very, very beefy front line coming out from Indiana. But the thing is, in terms of those big tanky front lines, if you do have that damage to be able to counteract that, such as, let's say, a Kraken Slayer Lucian and the, there's been a lot of Misfortune builds that have kind of swapped up the game. I mean, with the recent changes that came to itemization in Season 11, there's a lot of different stuff to see. And I also forgot to introduce myself. So for those who don't know, my name is Lai Stuya, better known as Stu over at the Ohio State University. And it is just going to be me solo casting this match for tonight. So in terms of the team compositions, it's really hard to say because I think it's really, I mean, up in the top lane, it's going to be pretty rough. Having a full tank, having to, go against that melee Darius matchup, it's going to be really rough for him. We may have to see Teal apply some of that jungle pressure to the top side of the map. And otherwise, I mean, we're going to see what really Big Meme is able to do on this Nidalee. I truly do believe, even though Nidalee isn't as much of the dominant power picks we saw in the earlier seasons of League of Legends with the likes of lots of Lee Sin, lots of Elise, lots of Nidalee, and stuff like that. where it was these aggressive, get in your face junglers that are going to try to take over the map. Now, Mundo jungle, I'll be honest, I do not have a lot of experience when it comes to watching a Mundo jungle in terms of just knowing that, they get, massive tank, massive frontline, beefy tank, which is honestly amazing to have. And again, for the backline of Indiana University, it stresses me out a little bit. They are more so lacking on the damage side of things, unless the button here on Jhin is able to really establish a lead, depending on the build that he's going. But I can only assume we're going to see that fleet footwork, Gale Force type of build going into the Collector. And again, with the Misfortune, I'm going to assume that she's going to be going more of the crit build, whether it be with the Gale Force or the Kraken Slayer, as opposed to the Comet build we've been seeing, where people are going Arcane Comet, putting a couple points into E and going in with a Man Immune into usually one of those mythic items. So we'll have to see what that ice decides to do. But, for Indiana University to have the only 2 damage, and again, with it being Season 11, tanks still do damage. A Malphite, even sitting there with 500 armor, is going to be able to potentially solo kill your Lucian or Misfortune. So when it comes to having this double 80 carry comp, Malphite, fantastic answer to that. But it is going to depend on how much this Lucian is able to bully this Lissandra in lane, as well as if we see Sweaty Intern making plays on this Lissandra. Lissandra being one of the better champions to utilize teleport for those teleport flanks to go in with the engage, whether it is the self ult or ulting someone else for that or not Glacial Prison. It's been a little bit, so please excuse that I can't exactly remember every ultimate as I once did as I was casting more often. But either way, both of these team comps, some games you see and you could say like, oh, it's really going to go one way or the other just based on draft. I would say like with how Season 11 currently is in League of Legends, damage is a massive, massive factor. And I think that Michigan State, the only weird thing is that they don't have a lot of crowd control. It's a lot of range, but besides that Darius pull and the massive amount of crowd control that comes out from a Leona, which is awesome, going to be Danny K on that Leona, but you really have to make sure that you're keeping the Malphite, Mundo, Lissandra, and Galio off these carries. And that is a tall order to be asking of, just 2 people with that crowd control. Nidalee, 0 crowd control. Lucian, 0 crowd control. Misfortune has the slow on her E, but that's going to be it. And for her to be able to still, to be able to get a full bullet time off versus, the unstoppable force coming out from Malphite, the Lissandra ult in the back line, the Galio ult. There's so many things that Michigan State needs to worry about. So in terms of, the damage aspect and maybe getting more of the early game snowballed easier, I would be, I would be hard pressed to believe that it is not going to be in the favor of Michigan State if they can get that early aggression. However, if Indiana is able to slow this game down, understand what their strengths are, then, I would say mid to late game, this is going to go in Indiana's favor. But, it'll be interesting to see here. And so, yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting game. Right now, we're seeing the very typical 5-point setup. You got all 5 players on the map just taking a look where each other are at. We do see some mastery flashes happening here. The Lucian only mastery level 4 to the mastery level 6 Lissandra, and got a thumbs up knowing he has that advantage over him. But right now we do see really big meme probably going to go for that ward right there as he finishes the recall, swaps out for sweeper. There we go. We're not seeing Mundo do that. He actually is holding on to the yellow trinket for now, so maybe going to be going in with the plan of establishing more vision to help protect his laners from, as I had mentioned, the snowballing capabilities of Michigan State University. So otherwise, in terms of the runes that we can take a look at right now, we did see a lot of Aftershock Lissandra over the years. Sweaty Intern decided to opt for that Electrocute, so it's going to be a bit heavier damage coming out from him in the mid lane. But otherwise, everything is just about standard. We did see the Misfortune go for the Arcane Comet, but she did, that ice did decide to opt for the Doran's Blade as opposed to the Tear of the Goddess start. So maybe going a little bit more aggressive and trying to, poke out the bot lane of Indiana University here. I do like to see, or actually, excuse me, I'm a bit torn by the Button's choice of cleanse. I'm someone that I myself am an AD carry main. I have played AD carry since about season 4, and especially in more recent seasons where you're so much more susceptible to burst. I think cleanse is one of the most useful summoners, but unfortunately, the Button is not going to be getting a lot of value from this because it's only the Leona that has anything that you can cleanse. Now, it may be game saving though. If the Leona comes in, gets the full, EQ ult off on you, that's that potential 4 to 5 second crowd control duration. Cleansing that can be a problem because, again, it relies on Michigan State to be able to quickly jump and abuse the fact that either his cleanse is down or he had just popped it. So we are seeing a little bit of aggression up in the top lane. Sunlight establishing that level 3 to level 2 lead on that Malphite, getting a good amount of Darius stacks off onto him, and a pretty big CS deficit has already been established there up in the top lane with Sunlight having 17 CS to Speedy's only 3 right now as that wave crashes in the tower. Otherwise, we actually see really big meme here, as I was talking about with this Nidalee possibly going for one of these more aggressive plays. Does have the Leona, and maybe the Button and Rock Tank are able to realize that this Fortune is alone. But besides getting poked out of his jungle a little bit, we do have the bot lanes responding. Misfortune is able to poke over the wall. Lucian coming up from the top, though, does get the Ardent Blaze off to get that movement speed, and Teal is looking very low. They're trying to DPS Button down. That Nidalee goes in, but that's going to be the flash going away from him. Both the jungle and the AD carry of Indiana being very low right now. Lucian going in for another dash, but that's going to be Lissandra meeting you. Flash and stunned up. That cleanse, as we were talking about on the gen, is going to save you, but not to that ignite. That's going to make you fall down, but that is going to be a first blood to that ice, and the really big meme is going to go for the Button, but going to be taken out by Teal on this Mundo, and now they have that Lissandra passive to my goodness, chase down Danny, and that is going to be a double kill for Sweaty Intern on this Lissandra, and already 4 minutes into the game, we've got a little bit of a fiesta going, and that is going to go into the favor of Indiana University. Right now, they did establish about a 500 gold lead from that, and Lissandra is sitting there with a 150 gold bounty. So it really was looking good for Michigan State there for a moment, especially as we did see the Lucian coming up from the top side of the jungle. But as soon as, you got to learn when to take your wins, and especially concerning that. And when you're overstaying as an Misfortune and the Mundo walks up and throws a cleaver at you, you have to instantly burn your flash. So that's going to be that ice with no flash for the next 5 minutes. But yeah, no, so far, there's actually a little more action that I'd like to see. And again, I would say that in terms of early game, if it's supposed to go one of these teams' way early, it should be Michigan State. So for Indiana to have this lead right now could potentially be huge, depending on how they can translate this. We do have the first dragon of the game just now spawning. It is going to be that Ocean Dragon. So we do know that, at least for the meantime, it's not going to be an Ocean Soul this game, with the other 3 elements being up for grabs. So far, we do see that the Misfortune has not backed yet, sitting on a good amount of gold right now. Chovy, excuse me, looking to get a bit aggressive on Sweaty Intern, but that is going to be Rock Tank here to respond. Teal coming in from the side, and there's no summoners for that Lucian. That's going to be him falling. The Rock Tank on this Galio support picking up that kill. We do see really big meme here in Italy trying to get in with a little bit of a response to this now 1v3 here in the mid lane. So Danny did manage to respond, did follow the Galio up here as they knew some stuff was going on. Misfortune was able to recall, and she did go for that first purchase of a Caulfield's Warhammer, no potions on the side of the Button, deciding to go for the Swifties Rush, which I think is actually a very good choice. And meanwhile, up in the top lane, Speedy, knowing the vulnerable position he's in, being an out-of-mana Malphite, walking up to a Darius that's level 6, probably not the right call. Does manage to get that very thick flash over the wall to be able to escape that. So Sunlight up in this top lane, absolutely dominating right now. And otherwise, we may potentially see a Nidalee get. We do see both junglers on the bot side of the map here. We may see some stuff happening as Indiana is pushing up pretty far. Otherwise, it's no surprise that we are going to see this Mundo go a bit tank, probably go for that Sunfire. And Nidalee right now not having much besides that Dark Seal, maybe looking to pick up some stacks with the early aggression that is going on, sweeping out the vision that they can detect from Indiana University. But otherwise, it looks like the game has managed to stop it. We are see the junglers are matching each other pretty well. We're seeing them both have their recalls synced, but Teal does have a level advantage up on Really Big Meme right now, already having that level 6 from Mundo, and it can be pretty devastating knowing that the Nidalee may or may not be here, though they did not have vision of her recall, but this could be a 3v2 for Indiana here. Really hoping that Danny decides to engage on this Leona, but they're not really looking for it right now. The Jhin is level 6, and so they do have to prepare if they do start to disengage and run back behind their tower. They do have the current call to worry about. So right now, Danny trying to tank up the minions a little bit, see if Michigan State can get this freeze going and maybe try to remain in this position down in the bot lane to keep having Indiana overextend. But right now, both junglers, Teal is actually seeing if he can actually pick off this Lucian here. The culling does come out. It's going to be tickling that Mundo, hardly making even a dent in that health bar, but he does manage to escape with his life. Flash is coming up very soon for this Lucian, and he does have the cleanse available for the Lissandra ult that also is up on Sweaty Intern right now. Otherwise, again, probably, it's 8 minutes in the game, even though there was about a 500 gold deficit not too long ago. It's back to even, but it might not be even now. Sweaty Intern going in with that Lissandra going to be instantly cleansed by Chovy Faker Kadim. That is a long name. That's going to be tough, but we do see the Galio being able to taunt up this Lucian. Danny K is here to stun up this Galio. Ignite's going to be thrown down, and Danny K, with that tick of Ignite, is going to be able to take out that Galio. And that is going to be a kill over to the side of Michigan State right now. 2-4, nearly 9 minutes into the game. Otherwise, we see some more plays going on, and Teal flashing away from that Darius pull. Danny going with a bit of aggressive play of his own, and oh my goodness, the amount of flashers are having to be burned. Lucian, yet again for a second time this game, tanking up that turret, and Danny's doing his best to be able to tank up these Mundo cleavers, maybe buying some more time with dragging Sweaty Intern over here, but that is going to be a kill over to him for his third kill of the game. But Chovy Faker Kadim is going to be able to narrowly escape that Mundo dashing over the wall. So a little bit of, I always love talking about itemization, especially at these slower parts of the game. It is really interesting to see something I have not seen in quite some time, being the tier built on the Lucian, so eventually going to have that Muramana. But right now we do see Speedy maybe seeing if he can make something happen with Sunlight up here. Sunlight just, again, this is almost a case of cyberbullying with the lead that he has been able to establish up here. They are about the same in experience, but a very big gold lead over on the Darius right now. Does have that first item of a Phage. I don't even believe that, from the old Black Cleaver builds we'd see out of Darius. Probably not going to be that, considering Phage was taken out of that build path. I would have to guess, possibly a Stride Breaker that's going to be thrown down here for this Darius. Possibly even a Divine Sunderer with the amount of tanks that Indiana University has. I think that would be a decent pickup for him. It's a little strange since the mythic passive of Divine Sunderer does give hybrid penetration. It gives both the armor and the magic penetration. Darius isn't able to utilize any magic penetration considering everything he does is physical, but to have that percentage health damage against these tanks, I could imagine being potentially a good choice. I don't understand top lane itemization as much as I would like to, but he's having to think of some options because the Malphite already having that Ninja Tabi finish, going to be very annoying for Darius to get in these slight brawls with him. I do like seeing Sweaty Intern, though, with that Oracle Lens already, being able to deny a lot of the vision that Michigan State has laid out here. You can see he's taken out 2 wards of that Sweeper and also the pink in the bot side bush, but right now it's looking a little scary. I don't think Michigan State knows that there's 3 members of Indiana in this tri-brush, and Nidalee just narrowly escapes them, but Danny, my boy, Danny's going to be taunted up, and that's going to be him taken down despite landing that Leona ult on the button. That is going to be him falling for the 3rd death of the game. But otherwise, right now, even though I didn't believe with the itemization that Misfortune was going, I didn't think we were going to see a Manamune with that tier being built so early, nearly 11 minutes into the game. Only 24 tier stacks really hurts. In comparison, when we did see the Lucian on his first back go for his own tier of the goddess, he has about 140 stacks now. Lysandra getting hers a little bit later too. Seeing if they can pick off that ice, a very good Galio taunt is able to land to be able to be combined with that Gen root, but not much is going to happen. He's playing very safe, understands the susceptible position he is in, but right now Teal back up in the mid lane, seeing if he can punish this Lucian. Sweaty Intern does have the ultimate available. Are they going to see if they can make a move? The E does go in. He's rooted up, but he does get cleansed. The flash W is going to leave him rooted for a couple seconds longer. Sweaty Intern is so very low, but really big meme is not going to be able to finish that off. Does try to flash over the Wraith Wall, see if she can get a cheeky spear. If we see the spear hit on Lysandra recalling, it would be pretty impressive, but I think she's just going to be narrowly escaping. Maybe even throwing a spear at this big Wraith that she tries to make her exit. But Speedy is here to respond, coming down from the top lane, does have that unstoppable force available, and there it's going to be. That Malphite ult taking out really big meme, punishing that positioning. You know, you're pretty deep into the red side jungle with no one there to really respond with you. And the button right now showing some pressure on this Misfortune, understands that the Leona is not there. Nobody is here with you. I'm going to root you up. That's going to be the bullet time coming out. The Jin Trap that is there to be able to get that slow. The fourth shot is available. Not going to be enough. Is going to opt to back out. Does not have heal. Has that cleanse instead. But the curtain call does come out. And that's going to be Galio seeing if he can tank up this turret for a couple seconds. But he's not going to be able to get in range for that taunt to finish off that curtain call. Right now, though, Teal up on the top side. Sunlight popping that ghost. He says 1v2. I can manage this. Not a problem. He speeds around a little bit, but he doesn't. He does not commit to going for one or the other. I'm not sure if he is aware that the unstoppable force is not available. The Mundo ult is not available either, so I truly do think he could take on that 1v2 with ease, and it's even better with Nidalee being up in this top side. Is popping that Herald there to see if they can knock down this first blood turret. 15 seconds left for these plates to be received as Nidalee gets the 160 and Darius as well. But the tower does not go down yet. There is one turret plate left available to be able to see if they can stall that out for as long as they can. But looking at the turrets of Michigan State, though, 5 plates on 2 turrets and then 4 on the other, the turrets of Indiana are definitely looking a lot lower on the red side of the map here. Otherwise, taking a look at the scores right now, it was actually my apologies. It was not the Divine Sunderer nor the Stridebreaker. I may have thought the Darius to go. He did decide to opt for that Gore Drinker, trying to be the front line that Michigan State so desperately needs to be able to just sit in front of his carries, be able to tank up as much damage as he can with the sustain. But the Sweaty Intern is able to get that Leona done up there. That's going to be a Galio taunt. And despite that Leona ult hitting, Leona being one of the tankiest champs in the game, almost narrowly escapes. But Teal is going to be on a killing spree. And now with that 5v4 advantage is going to be looking towards this Infernal Dragon. So, in 2 minutes, I should say. Right now, Indiana does have the 2 first dragons of the game already at 15 minutes, being the Earth and that Ocean, and it's going to be the Infernal Soul. So if they are able to pick up these next 2 dragons, despite lacking the damage in the team composition itself, having Infernal Soul on this Lysandra and Jhin may be able to make up for the damage that they otherwise did not pick. But again, this should be... The early game is not going at all how Michigan State needed it to. Right now, Indiana is holding this game. The gold lead is not too far off. It's 9-2, so it looks a lot worse than it really is. You've only got about 500 gold between the 2 teams. The problem being these carries and the more aggressive picks coming out from Michigan State are not steamrolling as fast as they need to. An item that I have not seen is I have not seen much Nidalee in terms of preseason and the most recent League of Legends season that has started is Riftmaker. I find that very interesting, but it does make sense with the combination of Conqueror that really big meme has decided to opt for, so it'll be really interesting to see that coupled with the Lucidity boots. But right now, he may be in some trouble as he's getting knocked up and taunted by that Galio, and those Lucidity boots aren't going to help for now. And Riftmaker, if you're not in combat for that long, going to take you out just like Chovy just got taken out. Galio does manage to come in. Teal is going to be able to chase down Danny. Don't know what's going up on the top side of the map. There we go. The Jhin root misses, but doesn't matter. We got a Lysandra ult to be able to root up Sunlight. Sunlight getting a massive Q heal, but he does not have the ultimate available. Jhin is slowly ticking down, and he's just barely going to live with that potion tick. Sunlight almost able, had he used that Noxian Guillotine to be able to get that reset, a potential triple, if not quadra kill for him, that massive Q heal coming out, but Indiana does manage to win out on that one. So the third dragon here going to be this Infernal, and it is now going to be Soul Point from here on out for Indiana University. And even though the gold lead was, hardly anything to talk about just a minute ago, with it being a 500 gold difference, now take a look at it. We've almost got a 2K gold lead on the side of Indiana University, and it is looking so very good. And again, it's so very scary right now for this composition, and it's something that I am personally biased against double AD carry comps for this exact reason. Unless you properly build it to where those are going to be the two carries for your team, it makes it so tough. Again, the Darius can only go in for so long with the sustain that he is able to get with this Gore Drinker, but it's this weird mix because Darius, especially in that opportunity right there we saw in that last fight, where he's not a tank in the sense of like, oh, I'm going to tank up damage, be the front line for my carries, and that's it. No, he's able to go in there and be his own threat. So it's kind of weird because besides the Leona, there's no dedicated support for this team composition. So I cannot imagine a world where, again, the biggest thing when you're playing or you're picking that Misfortune is the bullet time, and it's that ability to, you get them in a chokehold and you're able to unload thousands of damage off of one ultimate ability, and then potentially Lucian should be able to clean up with his, the autos and being able to weave in and out with his dash. So with him being behind, he does have the Gale Force finished on the side of the Lucian, but there is still no mythic item of Misfortune yet. She hasn't died and she's still farming well, but doesn't have the gold she needs, and that's going to be Proto Belt going forward on the Chovy. And oh my god, the crit's coming out! The RNG is on his side today, the culling almost takes him out, that's going to be a shutdown for Chovy Faker Keem on this Lucian, despite Rogtech and Teal trying to be there. I'm not even sure they are aware of Sweaty Intern and where his health bar went. Oh my goodness, so that, man, as I may have been talking it down, the damage still exists on Michigan State, so they are starting to get that ramp up a little bit, even just having that one mythic item. I think I saw 3 crits in a row there with 20%, which, I'll be a little honest, tilts the living hell out of me as RNG is not on my side that often. Regardless, though, happy for you, Chovy Faker Kadeem, but yeah, no, that's actually him picking up a very nice shutdown. Does manage to get the call fields finished off and working towards that mana mune. I think we're going to see a massive spike in damage once we see the Mirror Mana finish on this Lucian with that Gale Force. I think he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. So if Michigan State is able to hold out, let's say for even 3 to 4 minutes, maybe even 5, where they don't get into anything too ambitious and they're able to let this Lucian get the items that he needs, it may not even be, the Misfortune is going to be the complementary damage. She's going to throw down an area of effect slow and then get the bullet time that just zones off an entire area. So she's not really the carry in the sense. It is mostly going to be, in my opinions, with, how this game is looking right now and the current position of these players and their items. Right now it's Sunlight and Chovy Faker Kadeem from Michigan State. However, it's not really changing for Indiana because it doesn't really matter how well a Malphite or a Mundo does. You know what I'm saying? So the main purpose, actually, as Really Big Meme tries to go in for a gauge, but there's the bullet time coming out with that combination of the Leonal. It is exactly what we want to see. That is some good synergy coming out from Michigan State there, being able to take out Rock Tank on this Galio. So a good pick, as Dragon is coming up in about a minute for this 4th Dragon that it would be for Indiana. But if Michigan can prevent this, if they can prevent this Soul, they can hang on for a little longer and they can start to ramp up their damage. But, despite the damage that is ramping up, I talk so much about Michigan State, but right now, Indiana, they do have the Sunfire finished on both of their frontline tanks. They have it on Malphite. They have it on Mundo. Malphite also having that Bramble Vest with the Grievous Wounds that's going to be more than likely applied constantly to the Lucian. Misfortune can kind of try to evade it, mostly just throwing in a couple Qs in the fight. Again, not a press the attack crit Misfortune that we have seen sometimes. That's a lot more auto attack reliant. She is there for the bullet time. So right now, both teams are posturing up around this dragon. and it's going to be a solid 5v5. Every single member is up on both squads right now. It just depends on who is going to pull the trigger, and it's looking like it might be this Lissandra old sweaty intern, possibly looking for an E over the wall to see if he can pick off the Misfortune. They do have the denial of vision with that pink ward in that cubbyhole, but it's a little annoying to have to, you know, constantly dodge these Nidalee spears, and, you know, you have a Misfortune slowing you the entire time, and Danny K can engage on this Leona at any time, as can Teal, as can Speedy. They can just start running at them and hope that the follow-up coming out from the crowd control of the Lissandra and the damage on the backline from the Jhin, it's going to be pretty explosive. The Infernal Dragon has spawned. We'll see who's going to be the one to pull the trigger, who's going to start this fight off. They are playing footsies right now. No one's sure what they want to do. It is such an important objective to be able to, you know, deny the soul from them. That's going to be Danny K getting rooted up. The Leonel is going to hit. The bullet time does come out. That's going to be a 2-man unsolvable force coming out for Speedy. The Galio is going to come down, and that's going to be a 3-man knockup. And Indiana University is playing this so well. Teal is taking no damage. Sunlight is going to be able to go down. Danny K is going to be the next one, but Galio falls as well. And the button here on the side manages to Gale Force away. Does get the root, and the Collector doesn't even need to exist. Take out that Nidalee. The button getting a triple kill on this Jhin, finishing off 5-0 as they go for this Infernal Soul right now. I was pretty confident with the amount of damage that Jhin W had done to that Nidalee. I thought he had Collector. I was pretty confident he had Collector, but all he has right now is a Gale Force, a Kirsay Shard, and double crit cloak. That is one of the most Chad builds that I have seen from a Jhin, and it is paying off for Indiana University. A 500 gold bounty on this Mundo right now, or excuse me, a 500 gold bounty on the Jhin, 700 gold, 1,000 gold if you are able to take down this Mundo, but that is a tall order for Michigan State right now. The only person I can imagine doing damage to this Mundo, especially with the lack of grievous wounds that Michigan State is just deciding not to opt for versus, you know, a champion that is nearly all healing, I would say that is probably the priority more so of the Lucian, because with Mortal Reminder, that grievous wounds, the healing reduction, does increase from 4 to 60% if you're able to get the 3 consecutive autos off. But Misfortune, the chances of you getting 3 autos off on someone, it's not that worth it. Lucian does have the passive to get the double auto off. You can instantly proc that Mortal Reminder. But I would say for that ice, the optimal choice would probably be... oh man, there's so many new items. I forgot the one. It's Chainsaw, I believe. It's the one that gives CDR health and the healing reduction, because as opposed to the 3 consecutive autos for that healing reduction, all you have to do is just get them below 40%, I believe. So as of right now, I am being told that I have to restart my screen share session to get this synced up a little bit. So whenever the production on the other side is ready, I am as well, if there is going to be a slight delay and if I can be heard. So if something happens and I'm not able to see, just keep in mind that is the case. So right now, with that Infernal Soul being picked up, though, Indiana is in just such a good spot right now. The damage, despite only having those 2 carries, is just so significantly amplified. So it's so very scary, and unless they are able to instantly pick off the Lissandra and the Jhin, because that's the thing, that's the advantage Michigan State does have right now. If you pick off the Jhin, if you kill the Lissandra somehow, it's a win. The Malphite, the Mundo, the Galio does not have the damage to kill you guys. So right now, it's going to be a fight coming out, and that's going to be Chovy popping the calling and not going to be able to get taunted up by the Galio. The Baron is still alive. Sweaty Intern taking out really big meme. That's going to be the bullet time coming out, and the shutdown. That's going to be the button being taken out. The only person left is Sweaty Intern. The Zoni's in the middle, means he's going to be taken out by the Darius with Sunlight getting a double kill. Teal is on the side. He's there with Speedy. They're both tanked. They don't know what to do. They could actually run at them to see if they can just tank up more damage, but they're not going to be able to kill them. Danny is seeing if he can maybe chase him down a little bit, but man, that Mundo Cleaver with that Infernal Soul does so much damage. He can tank up turrets. He doesn't care. Look at the massive amount of defense that he has on this Deadman's, on the Sunfire. So much armor and even a little bit of magic resistance with that Spectre's Cowl being thrown in there. But yeah, no, this is actually a splendid turn of events for Michigan State right now. That is exactly what they needed. That is exactly what I said. You take out the Jhin, and it is actually easier, it's easier said than done. But if you have him crowd controlled for even a second and he eats a couple waves of that bullet time, it's insane. You have the Gale Force finish on both the Lucian and the Misfortune, as well as their Muramanas. Muramana. Muramana is usually how I pronounce it. Regardless, though, the carries for this double marksman comp for Michigan State is starting to come online, and it is scary, scary, scary stuff. Darius finally opting for the first, both the Darius and the Nidalee. They both do have the Grievous Wounds for the side now, and I think that's one of the only ways that this Mundo is going to die, if you really cut down that. And it has to be, I would say, Darius and Lucian have to work together to take that Mundo out. You take him out, that's 1,000 gold back in your pockets. This game right now is even in gold when Indiana had such a massive lead right now. And again, they have the Infernal Soul for the rest of the game. They can't lose that, but they can, be able to take out this Darius. Another bullet time does come out in this chamber, and the curtain call does get popped. We're going to see if Danny K is going to be able to tank that up. It doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. A little bit lacking of the armor penetration from the Jhin. Going Gale Force into Storm Razor, you do have a good amount of flat AD, going for that Infinity Edge third item. But again, right now, until he gets that last Whisper, we're not going to see a huge kapow come out from that curtain call until we manage to get that. But right now, it's looking like Michigan State, they really want to see if they can pressure this mid, and the Button, knowing what a susceptible position he's in, trying to avoid that Leono engage. So he does manage to get that Gale Force away. So right now, I believe I'm being told to disconnect and reconnect the video portion. So I'm going to do that. And I'm even going to rejoin so I can make sure that this is synced up to the best I can. Because we don't want any unsynced commentary here. So we're going to get it to the best of our ability for you guys. But again, right now, it is a nearly neck and neck game. I would still say that Indiana University still has the advantages of right now. Again, they have these tanks that are going to be just harder and harder to deal with as time goes on. And I don't think that Michigan State is itemizing properly to be able to properly respond and adapt to the situation they're in and the team composition that they're against. But we do have the Elder Dragon, the probably biggest objective of this game right now, aside from that Baron that, the teams are, wanting to fiddle around on. Elder Dragon with Infernal Soul. No, Infernal Soul, yes, on the side of Indiana with getting the Elder buff. Goodness me, terminology's hard, right? But if they are able to pick up this Elder Soul, Elder buff, goodness me. Okay, starting over. Elder buff executes enemies that are low. Infernal Soul does big damage. Big damage plus big damage equals win. And right now, there's not a lot of big damage coming out from the tanks of Indiana, but the bullet time instantly gets stopped by Unstoppable Force, and that's going to be Sunlight taking out the Malphite, though. He does try to go further, and the Galio does come out. The Zonius coming out from really big meme is going to be able to buy him a couple more seconds. The double Zonius and the stopwatch is actually insane to buy them more time. That is actually massively IQ. That's going to be 3 members down on the side of Indiana University with their 2 carries gone. You only have the 2 tanks left right now of Teal and oh my god, Rock Tank. And that's actually going to be Danny almost being taken out. That Ice is going to be able to pick up the kill on the Galio. But, oh my goodness, it's a fight until the end. The Elder Dragon is still up. Teal is here on the side. He does have the smite available, but so does Nidalee. It's going to be a 50-50 smite. He's not going to be able to get over the wall in time. And, oh my goodness, that is going to be the Elder Soul going over to Michigan State. And this game, despite them having such a rocky start, they're coming back to a position that is so very scary for Indiana. And that 1v1 is going to be the 1,000 gold shutdown going over to really big meme on this Nidalee. And that is going to be so much gold to finish the items that they need to finish out this game. And we saw the massive amount of damage, especially when it comes to tank compositions. One of those biggest counters is going to be that true damage execute that comes out from Elder buff. So this is so very massive. Right now, Michigan State is looking towards this Baron, knowing that the jungler of Indiana is dead right now. There is nothing they can do. The 2 carries are on it, taking a lot of damage until Sunlight manages to step up here, tank up this Baron. But there's not a lot of sustain on both the Misfortune and the Lucian right now. Besides having the Bloodline that is going to be in the Precision Rune Tree, there's not much healing there. We do see the Lucian, I believe, is going to be finishing off that Infinity Edge, and we do see the Lord Dominic's Regard is finished for the Misfortune. I think that is probably one of the best picks that is going to be taken 3rd item. I almost maybe would have even gotten its 2nd item. That is how beefy the side of Indiana is, where you are going to get so much gold value out of having that max health damage added on to this misfortune, getting a few bullet times off, but we saw how easily punished that the bullet time can be. You're standing still. There's no mobility when you're laying down these waves of Misfortune ult, but instantly, Speedy, noticing Misfortune's ulting, I ult her, instantly tries to take her out, and that's the response you need to give. But with how much they committed to try to punishing that ice, you know, it was, to me, I think one of the biggest saves there was the two Zonias coming out from really big meme, but he doesn't have the Zonias. This time he has to flash away from the Malphite ult. The curtain call does come out, but that's going to be a two-man stun coming out from the Leona, having to eat that entire bullet time, but Sunlight is here on the side. That ice is taking that Malphite out. That's going to be a killing spree. Leona tries to get away with Evo. We do have the culling on the side. That's going to be the flash over from Trophy Faker. Kadeem trying to take out the button, tries to get a couple more crits. That Mirror Mana procs. That's going to be a triple kill for this Lucian of Michigan State. And oh my god, despite Indiana having such a massive advantage in this game for that first solid 20 minutes, it is going to go over, as far as I can tell, with the 5 members of Indiana University being taken out. You have 5 members of Michigan State knocking at your door. That's going to be the first Nexus turret. That's going to be the second Nexus turret. And that is going to be the game. Michigan State taking down Indiana University. Wow, that was actually a game that if I was meant to place a wager within 5 to 10 minutes of that game, I would have said that Indiana had that in the bag, but Michigan State stalled it out for the time they needed. They understood, we get our 80 carries to 2 or 3 items, we are good to go. We take out Sweaty Intern, we take out the button, the rest is history. We don't need to deal with these tanks. They can't do anything. Despite Indiana getting the soul, and the sole objective of a game, in terms of the Dragon Soul, not soul as in SOLE, but getting that Dragon Soul was such a big win condition, and they still were not able to translate it. But regardless, so that match was, again, as I had said, Michigan State taking down Indiana University. Taking a look at the damage graphs right now, look how much how much impact that Misfortune was able to have, getting the bullet times off, maybe not even for the full duration, and still topping the damage charts there. Ironically enough, despite being the the tanky side, or the tanky composition of the two teams, the highest damage on the side of Indiana University being the Mundo, followed up by the Lissandra and the Jhin. But otherwise, again, fantastic turnaround from Michigan State to take down Indiana University. And after this, I believe we are now going to be continuing into the semifinals. So if you are wanting to continue watching the student-run Big Ten Invitational, be sure to stick around. We just finished the group stage that is going to bring us into semifinals here again. So my name is Lai Stuya, better known as Stu, representing the Ohio State University. And I believe I'm going to be joining you guys for these semifinals matches that are going to be coming up very shortly. So otherwise, stick around. We'll get these next games going in just a little bit. Thank you so much for watching.